Vietnam country profile. Vietnam is a socialist country operating under the single-party leadership of the Communist Party. The National Congress elects the Central Committee, which in turn elects the Politburo. Vietnam's legal powers are centralized in one supreme body and then delegated to lower bodies located in Vietnam's 63 municipalities and provinces. The National Assembly is the only body with the power to amend the Constitution and pass laws, but the implementation and administration of such laws is decentralized. Vietnam possesses both President and Prime Minister. Economic snapshot. Since its independence from France after World War II and unification of the North and South in 1975, Vietnam has moved away from agrarian economy to embrace industrialization. Its government is committed to global economic integration. Factors in Vietnam's growth include its young population, stable political system, relatively low inflation, strong manufacturing sector, growing export, and increasing FDI inflows. Overall, 2019 was an upbeat year for Vietnam in terms of foreign trade, with a total amount $517 billion, or up 7.6% year-on-year, and a record trade surplus of $11 billion. Exports in 2019 increased 8.4% to $264 billion, while import rose 6.8% to $253. Foreign direct investment, or FDI. According to the Ministry of Planning and Investment, the total newly registered adjusted capital and share purchase by foreign investor reached $38.2 billion in 2019. It's a 7.2% increase as compared to the same period in 2018. The rise of FDI disbursement in 2019 implied investors' confidence in Vietnam's economic outlook. Vietnam has become the leading recipient of FDI and a manufacturing hub in Southeast Asia. Its proximity to China and its export-oriented growth strategy give the country a head start among its neighbors as companies start to relocate in order to reduce production costs and avoid the brunt of USA-China trade war. The Vietnamese government has taken several initiatives in order to create favorable conditions to attract more foreign capital. It covers but are not limited to: first, the creation of special economic zones or SEZ, second, land rental incentives, third, tax incentive and reduced tax rate, fourth, exemption from import duties on certain types of goods, etc. It's also worth to mention that the Vietnam laborers, especially in the northern regions, are relatively skilled. That, in addition to cheap labor costs $120 until $810 compared to $1,000 in China, give Vietnam another competitive edge. The manufacturing sector accounts for 65% of the total FDI inflows. Vietnam is a major producer of consumer electronics, computers and mobile phones, automobile parts, and textile or garments including footwear, which are among its top export products. Doing business in Vietnam. According to 2020 Doing Business report, Vietnam ranks 70 among 190 countries in the term of ease of doing business. Among 10 indicators, Vietnam displays excellence in starting a business, getting credit, and getting electricity. However, it still lacks in protecting minority investors and in resolving insolvency. World Bank notes that Vietnam has implemented several business reforms since 2008, most notably in the area of tax payment, contract enforcement, electric supply, credit access, and trade. How does Vietnam compare to Indonesia? Overall, Indonesia ranks 73 with a score of 69.6. It excels as compared to Vietnam in the following indicators. First, protecting minority investors. Second, paying taxes. And third, resolving insolvency, or 3 out of 10. It's still a long way for realizing Indonesia's aspiration to achieve rank 40th. Rigid employment law, high labor costs, overlapping regulation, and ineffective bureaucracy, high cost of land, water, electricity, and gas, lower quality of product, lack of infrastructure, and high corporate tax are several factors that negatively affects Indonesia's rank.
What can we learn from Vietnam? 1. Continuity in economic policies. The consistency and continuity in policies help Vietnam give a strong positive signal to stakeholders who benefit from a stable business environment. Removing energy shortages. One of the key enablers of Vietnam's economic transformation was the increase in the country's power generation capacity. Vietnam initiated a number of traditional as well as alternate energy projects, which proved critical in ensuring that its industrial units had constant access to power supply. Developing infrastructures. Vietnam is investing heavily in its infrastructure. According to ADB, Vietnam infrastructure spending as a percentage of GDP was 5.8% in 2017, significantly more than many of its Asian neighbors. The investment is focused on areas such as economic zones, industrial parks and clusters, high-tech parks, and agri-tech zones. Investment in export-oriented sectors. Skilled workers. Vietnam paid substantial attention towards skill development of its labor force and incentivized corporate-sponsored training programs for the workers. This helped to improve their productivity. It is also worth to mention that Vietnam also invests heavily in education. Regulations were issued to protect ownership rights of firms, facilitate ease of doing business, and strengthen corporate governance of public institutions. It also took appropriate measures to improve governance and transparency of regulatory bodies, and upgraded the financial reporting standard and risk management framework for banks.
Regulatory reform to improve investment climate.
The regulatory framework has been constantly revised to incorporate more favorable regulations for businesses to invest and operate in Vietnam. Since the new law on investment and the new law on enterprises were passed in 2014, many other laws, decrees, and circulars have been put in place to provide guidelines for better market access. Several noteworthy reforms are Resolution number 68 and Decree number 122. Through those two reforms, it can be observed that Vietnam attaches special attention to institutional reform and e-government to create favorable conditions for businesses. Aside from regulatory reform, the Vietnamese government has also made efforts to restructure and equitize state-owned enterprises in order to increase performance. In the period of 5 years, from 2013 to 2018, Vietnam has equitized approximately 591 state-owned enterprises. On the international front, Vietnam has been actively engaging in a number of free trade agreements in order to accelerate the country's integration into the global economy and lower tariffs. Key trade pacts include ASEAN Economic Community, Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership or CPTPP, and Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership or RCEP. Vietnam has also signed multiple trade agreements as a member of ASEAN and other bilateral pacts. Challenges. 1. Economic slowdown. It has been several years since the last global financial crisis. However, a consensus among economists is that the global economy has been recovering at a slower pace than expected. Vietnam's pace of growth, although reduced, is still among the highest in Asia. However, a number of factors might cause difficulty for the Vietnamese economy in maintaining high growth rate in the near future. The Vietnamese economy relies heavily on exports, which suffers due to the trade protectionism and the recent COVID-19 pandemic. So far, Vietnam has managed to avoid the brunt due to its rising domestic consumption and prompt response to the pandemic. In fact, ADB predicts a positive economic growth for Vietnam in 2020, though at a lower rate than the previous years. In the future, Vietnam must find the balance for enterprises with foreign and national capital in its economy and rating about its dependence to the import of production materials. Rise of protectionism. An important challenge for the global economy is the new wave of protectionism from advanced countries, such as the US, the UK, and other European countries. 3. Fostering innovation and productivity in state sectors. Vietnam is also facing challenges in fostering innovation and productivity in its state sectors, especially for state-owned enterprises which have strong political connections and access to huge resources. These firms are under pressure to maintain productivity. Hence, it is important that Vietnamese government should conduct further reform with the aim to foster innovation and productivity. Or institutional quality. Vietnam has experienced a rapid economic growth, which greatly outpaces its improvement of institutional quality. Corruption, weak legal infrastructure and judicial system, and burdensome bureaucracy are several key challenges. Recommendations: 1. Improve national resilience through small-medium enterprises, state-owned enterprises, and startups. Beyond manufacturing and tourism, the country could focus on boosting the competitiveness of other strategic areas at home, including small-medium enterprises, state-owned enterprises, and startups, to increase national resilience. 2. Improving infrastructure. Vietnam has built up a large stock of infrastructure. It now needs to improve the efficiency and sustainability of its infrastructure services, including financing and operations and maintenance. A PPP scheme is a potential avenue for Vietnam to pursue in order to improve its infrastructure. 3. Improving education and providing opportunities. The country scores well on basic education, but it needs to promote university and vocational technical skills that are becoming even more important for a productivity-led growth model. 4. Boosting domestic consumption. It is important to note that essential goods and services account for 42% of GDP, while discretionary spending accounts for 26%. Thus, the government must not only maintain but boost domestic consumption either through stimulus or the execution of public investment programs.